Yo, what up, Street Gods? There, Kim. All right, some turbo thoughts for y'all. So this one is how to build your own self brand. So what is a self brand? A self brand is just you, right? It's not nobody, no else, just you, right? And I think it's an important thought because nowadays nobody has faith in themselves. They're always like, it's like everyone's so insecure, right? Like everyone needs to get the Balenciaga sneakers or the Balenciaga whatever's, right? My critique of people in downtown LA is, at least the rich ones, it's like you cannot look like a fool wearing a weird thing unless it's like some sort of high-end designer thing, right? More shout outs to the people who just randomly go to H&M or Zara and just kind of scrap together random stuff. But anyways, so when it comes to the context of building your own self brand, I mean, just simple thoughts like it just takes a long time. You know, I'm currently 34 years old, and I technically uploaded my first video to YouTube when I was 21 before their ads, right? Um, so how long have I been? Man, I've been in the game for like over a decade, like 12 plus years. And what has helped me stay, hyped and relevant? Essentially, it's to allow myself to bridge into different fields. I think the mistake that a lot of people fall into is feeling like they just need to stay in one category. And if I could give myself advice again, or somebody else advice in the long run, would be, even when you're starting off, this is contrary to what I used to believe in, don't stay in a niche. Allow yourself to become a multifaceted individual. Even if you think about like David Bowie, Prince, or just formerly known as Prince, Kanye, Yay, right? People transform, change, and the biggest death to creativity is forcing yourself to stay in the same mold. A good analogy is the Procrustean bed, the bed of Procrustes, in which, um, this unsavory guy named Procrustes who would invite poor travelers into his inn, and it's like, oh, take a rest in my nice bed, right? And in the bed, once they lie down, let's say the guy who came into the inn was 6 feet tall, but the bed could only fit a 5 foot person, he would actually chop off the heads and the legs so they could fit the bed. And I think this is a good analogy for just modern day life, is that everyone's trying to cut off their legs and head to fit the mold rather than trying to create a new mold, which is much more robust idea. So even me starting my blog and street photography, like the traditional mode of doing things was never interesting to me, and I felt like a prisoner. I felt trapped, and so I've just had the privilege of being able to be self-employed for the last decade plus. I've only been properly employed for 10 months of my life, and it took me 10 years to unlearn those 10 months of just like petty office politics and this culture of like, you gotta go inbox zero, and like be super responsive. Now I'm just like kind of an irresponsible adult who's more like a kid. And the hilarity out of all of it is I've actually become more productive. I'm happier, I'm healthier, stronger. Just check out my Air Kim hype lifting, right? And yeah, and just my simple thought takeaway is just use your first name, last name whenever possible, or even hyphenate your name like Air Kim. I'm not Air Kim, I'm EK, right? Even like Louis Vuitton, right? LV, Michael Kors, MK, right? So like even Kim Kardashian West, or was previously Kim Kardashian West, KKW, right? So building your own personal brand means to put yourself out there, to upload videos to YouTube, do blog posts. I actually don't recommend using Facebook, Instagram, or Snapchat, none of that. I'll just say start a blog and start a YouTube channel, maybe start a podcast. But ultimately, what you're trying to do is propagate your thoughts as openly and honestly as possible. Don't fake, don't front, don't try to make it professional. One shot and upload it to the cloud.